welcome to the show. This is the Eric and Tony Show. I'm Eric.
I'm Tony.
And this is the show. This is Charles Clark, our guest that we have on today. Astonishing comic and actor.
Incredible
person.
Incredible.
Very talented.
Wow.
So yeah, happy to have you on the podcast. We had a dry run last time, and it was a little practice run, but we had a good time last time. So
we'll get an excuse to get you back here.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be back here. Thank you.
So what's everybody got going on?
Let's introduce Charles. Charles, so tell the people where that accent's from. Is that from New York? Is that
This is Czech Republic.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from England. Hello. I'm an actor.
Hello.
Sort of a comedian, not really. Tony made me do a stand-up, so I'm claiming to be a comedian after about 2 shows.
You can tell you're not counting a stand-up. I had to do a stand-up. Put that in one of your jokes. Yeah.
But yeah, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know, I am an actor, but we'll see how that goes.
Soon to be a full-time comedian, I think. I was fortunate to see Charles's first show, his first stand-up show, and it was really, really good. Like, yeah, no joke, it was extremely professional. He like rehearsed the thing he said for like days, practiced like hours every day, and it was just like spot on.
It was the best 30 seconds I've ever seen on stage.
Damn right it was. You know, the problem with that though, like, so it went pretty well. Like for early on, it went pretty well, right? But now I feel a pressure, and you know this, like I just haven't really been able to write anything since. Like I'm struggling. I'm every night just on my laptop just do.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say, and it's true. Just get up there and try it out. Man. I know, because I'm so used to the writing and getting comfortable and knowing I got it down, you know, I'll do a bit of rehearsing here and then. You can't do it. I think I'm putting too much pressure on myself.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah.
But you're also, I told you this from the jump, like you already have a stage presence being an actor. So like that's a huge thing that I finally feel like I'm getting over, like, 12 years in and a divorce later. I'm like, I am actually comfortable on stage.
You're more comfortable now after the divorce?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah? Because you don't need to worry about what you say now.
No, it's not that. It's just like...
it can't get much worse than this.
Exactly. Plug them in. Your whole life implode on you. It's just like, what's a bad set? Is that going to be ruin my day? No, I think that's true.
That's true, actually, yeah. You've already hit the bottom. So you can just fucking go
Here
for
I am
it.
at the bottom. No.
Now you're working your way up, son.
I think that's probably like with a lot of like performance art, like stand-up comedy, music, all that stuff like that. Like the sooner you can get like relaxed and just be yourself on stage, like the better you're going to be, like the faster you're going to be a better artist. It's like a lot. I think that's like the biggest thing people struggle with, for any kind of like performance art is like just letting themselves show themselves, and not have nerves.
Comedy's the hardest though. I mean, like stand-up comedy, because it's so like pure, and when you get really good at it, you are sort of digging into your own insecurities and issues, and you're making them hilarious, and sometimes it might not even be that obvious because you go off on a tangent and a story, but just being able to just get up there in front of people, knowing you haven't got the shit together yet, knowing you might bomb, and not only you might bomb, it's all a lot of it's coming from a personal space.
That's the addictive part, though.
It is addicting, and that's what makes it, I think, the best, possibly the best art form. But it's absolutely terrifying. That's what I'm struggling with.
Dude, I honestly, like, again, from just the amount of like traumas that I had to go through last year and shit. Even like, my dad died. I like was talking about that on stage with him like fairly short after he died. That I was like trying to fucking work that out. And then just because of the fact that, like, again, from like the comics perspective, you kind of look at things like just slightly askewed, and it makes it more like digestible. Or it's not just like, my world's over. It's just like, yeah, of course. Like you find some kind of like funny in there and shit, and that's just like how I think is a coping mechanism for me to go through things and shit. And if I didn't have that to fall back on, I probably wouldn't be here.
Well, I think that's like when the best like art is made, though. Is like when you go through stuff and you have like a shitty experience, and like you can turn it around and make it into something.
Eric's
like
last
good.
album was fucking off Heartache, and it's solid.
I still haven't heard that. You kind of hide your music from everyone.
Yeah. I just kind of like do it for myself, and then if it comes out, then it comes out. But I'm very dependent on my mood in order to like want to write, to do that. Like I need to be in like a really shitty spot in order to like create something like that I feel is good or like that
That's
has value
interesting,
to it.
'cause-
So it's like a very odd relationship with like music that I have.
You're like one of those fucking plants that blooms every 25 years and shit. And just like you
Dies,
still have to,
and then dies
yeah,
real quick.
exactly.
Dies. That was
Immediately after it
beautiful for a
blossoms, like
season.
it's just. But you have to still water it and fucking feed it for the entire time and nourish it and stuff. Because like,
I wish I could do that though. When you're in a bad place, that's when you can be creative and write. I'm the opposite. I need to be in a good place. Otherwise, it's just
Really?
nails on a
You-
chalkboard.
Really?
That's
You have
when
to
I
be
write
Oh,
good.
mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the last couple of weeks, they haven't been great. And I think that has to do also with the writing side of it. If I'm in a good
Yeah.
mood, it's just nonstop.
That's
I'm
so
just like
funny.
and go all day.
That's
Bad mood,
interesting.
just block.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you know.
I don't know the cure for it. I need the cure for it.
Teach their own. It's different,
Yeah.
you know. But that's interesting to see that you should be great because you know I'm assuming you have more good days than bad days. So that
you
should
said
like
the last couple
be,
weeks sucked.
yeah, but I mean,
we'll get
but
back
here's
on
the
track. It's coming.
Here's the thing, though. I think
It's coming.
sometimes you get kind of in your own way with things because you're not actually looking at the fucking the subject matter you have there. I mean, the shit that you're dealing with your car troubles, that shit's hilarious, dude. It sucks that you had to go through
Yeah, I
it,
guess.
but just from like just you telling people, just kind of like
hilarious for us.
Hilarious.
just
Every
fucking
day
fun.
you
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
know
Like,
what
yeah,
was
my
going on.
fucking
Just bought a brand
transmission
new
blew.
car,
Yeah.
bought my money, 25K, right out the bank account, and
Yeah.
then just everything blew up instantly.
Yeah.
Dealers pretend just
Yeah.
kind of turned away when I'd go back to the garage. They just sort of awkwardly go,
Yeah.
you know, here he comes
no,
again.
That was like one of the worst
Ever
like
since
car
super glue
stories.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's your stand up stronger than ever, I think, now that you are getting into the dark shit. I know
Thanks.
we've talked about this, but I feel like some things it's like, okay, yes, we are in a dark place right now, and you can sense it as an audience,
Yeah.
but you know the more you work on that and when you find those funny bits, it's gonna be better than ever, I think. And I think people
yeah.
are scared to do that, you know, and I can sense it coming with you.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, I think kind of setting the tone for that kind of like subject matter and shit's always a good thing. Cause like, obviously, like dead dad jokes and shit's not like, oh, this guy's got a great dead dad joke. You know what I mean? But like, if you kind of fucking
But that
like,
is the one that though, when you get it, when you nail it,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the best joke.
yeah.
It's just trying to actually get to the point where you nail it.
Well, that's- I mean,
because
because
dead dad.
Yeah.
You do have to get through that phase
Yeah.
where you are just talking about a dead dad 30 minutes, but eventually it's going to become a masterpiece.
Well, I got a lot of dad material and stuff, and not just from me being a father, but my own father and stuff. But that's the thing. I remember the first time I tried talking about some like the you know, there would be sad stories from like a child's perspective on stage. People were like, oh shit, like it was not like the reaction you wanted from the audience. Only because I was new to comedy, actually being on stage too. So I had a hard time actually trying to deliver that stuff. That's why I was saying you have a leg up because you're comfortable. You come from a theater and acting background and shit. So like me, really, when I moved out here, like 15 years ago, or no, it's what, 17 years ago, 16 years ago.
You would know better than me.
No, when Eric
You're
and I
my backup hard drive.
decided
I
to,
don't know.
You know,
I don't remember
yeah.
shit.
It was 20.
I'm like
It was
barely came here
2007.
today. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going
know
on?
where we
today?
are
Yeah.
right now. Let's probably look
Your
into
name's
that,
Eric.
actually. It's a problem.
I'm Tony. This is our show.
I didn't remember his fucking
Yeah.
last name, which
Yeah.
is Clark.
Yeah.
Asked him
Yeah, before we
how do you
started the
pronounce
podcast,
your
how do you pronounce your
name?
last name? I don't know. I've only known you years.
Charles Steve, Charles Clark. Ah, fuck it. I knew it was
C-Lark.
double first name. Yeah, yeah.
It's Charles Clark.
Yeah.
I forgot it.
Same as it was last time.
Fucking not
Um,
stupid.
Technically, Charlie.
Charlie.
That's right. You're going by the documentation at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
The barcode we're all given.
That's right.
The implant we're
The
all
Barbara
given.
should.
at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stuck after that. I
Charles
guess I'm
is a good name,
I guess
though.
I'm Charles.
Charles sounds classy.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Too classy though. I'm not a Charles.
I mean, I don't go by Anthony. And then you
Doesn't
Brits call
work.
it Anthony. Anthony.
Nah.
Yeah.
Fucking Anthony's son. Nah.
Well, it's funny because my son's name's Anthony. So when I say his name, the more I say his name, the more I'm like, that is not a bad name, though. It's a good name. Like
It's a
I
good
like.
name, but you've grown into Tony.
I'm definitely a Tony for sure. Yeah, like
It's a little less classy.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like the,
Yeah,
You don't deserve that A in the end.
little disheveled.
And the H,
Yeah, he's not
the
as
silent
classy
H.
as an Anthony. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a couple letters that don't really fit the whole parameters of Anthony and shit. But when I say his name though, and it's just kind of I'm like, that's a dope name. Like, and then the funny thing is, I was just telling Mike, the guy I was podcasting earlier.
like forgot my name for a second.
Whatever this guy's name is.
Who is this
Some
guy?
fucking-
me, Eric.
Bill over here.
I'm like this fucking,
Me, Eric. Remember
fucking
my name.
Neanderthal over here.
Yeah. When I'll call my son like, little like fucking, nicknames like, hey pal, buddy. He's like, it's not buddy. It's Anthony Robert Klein II. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Wait,
it is,
he wants
dude.
the full thing?
He
Oh,
likes the
wow.
full name. He says the full name.
Ooh.
It's adorable hearing like a little 3-year-old.
It is
like,
at this stage.
Anthony
You ain't
Robert
know
Klein.
until he's
Yeah.
saying it
I
to
have a
kids
little,
when he's
little
16.
dictator over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Something's brewing, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting until he realizes how cool his dad is and wants to drop Anthony and go by Tony. He's like, nah, I'm fucking Anthony. I'm fucking Tony.
You might want to kind of monitor that when he's
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm Anthony Robert Klein. The second he's like fucking in 4th grade, 5th grade, you're like, all right, want to fucking pump the brakes on that shit and fucking get a little too.
When he's in
full
charge
name.
of important things, you're going to be on his hit list probably eventually.
Yeah,
Get a
right.
bit suspicious of you. Kim Jong-un style.
That's right. He's got to take off the number 1, so there's just
That's
only 2.
it.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Okay, well, hold on. A couple things here.
That's right. You don't want to do Mexico yet?
Do Mexico.
Okay.
I do. I mean, how do I even lead into this? I mean, because you're going to Mexico.
Gracefully lead into it.
I'm going to Mexico next week
And
for a well-deserved vacay with my brother's family. It'll be very nice.
yeah.
With the brothers family?
Yeah.
You're going to Cancun though, no?
Yeah, like
It's just sex parties
It's like one
over
of
there.
like I forget the name of it. It's like Playa del something or something,
One of those.
whatever. But it's right. It's near Cancun, but it's that same area. But it'll be fun. It's gonna be like, you know, we're at a resort, so you're just like in like a little.
That's where you want to be. You want to be in a
Yeah.
place where everyone speaks English, at least enough to like not
You
feel
want-
fucking like
You
scared.
want
and
all
shit.
the
Kind of,
fun and none of the danger. You know.
There's gonna
I
be
had all the
danger
danger
in
when
Cancun.
I was in Mexico 2
Oh,
weeks ago.
yes, yes, okay.
Because
Tony, tell us the story.
I will tell you the story.
This
Those
is
at home?
fucking hilarious.
Your boy got an acting gig down in Mexico, and
In a very unconventional way.
unconventional way, a person that was kind of pursuing me with a script for 10 years that I thought probably had a crush on me.
We mean probably.
Didn't want to do the initial audition 10 years ago because I got some odd vibes, and then
I think the script was his like in to like contact you to like.
Dude, I had so many like conspiracies going on with this.
I've been trying to hook up with this guy and meet this guy
That's
for
right.
years.
And to
I'm
be
gonna-
fair to the
How am
dude,
I-
he did
well,
write
how
a
can I-
100-page script just
how
to
can
get
I
you over
get
I
there.
don't
to
even know
this
how many
straight
pages it was
man?
because I got the script 10 years ago, and then when I was down there again, like I had not gotten a full script anything. So I'm doing all these test shoots and these like, you know, these what the hell, the wardrobe fittings and shit. But it would only be for like a scene, not the whole fucking, you know, actual like 3 like acts of the movie. I'm like, well, can I get like the full script? Because we did like a fucking after I got back from Mexico.
You're like,
Spoiler
how many
alert, I
times
came
you gonna
back.
measure my inseam, man?
Yeah, that was the screen test was in his bedroom.
Yeah, well, dude, okay, so initially when I first went, like this dude used to come into this restaurant I worked at, out of the gate, said some really weird thing like, "You're the most handsome man I've ever seen." I was like, okay, well, hey, what do you want for breakfast? Just try to like avoid that. Just skip over that real quick. And then he was like coming in pretty regularly, going to like LA, like what's that LA actors thing, La Brea, right? The Academy.
God, I don't know. There's a lot of them out
Yeah.
there.
But I didn't know at the time he was already like an established novella star and stuff. And then went back to Mexico. We kept in contact on Facebook and stuff and like Instagram. And then like as I did like just award nominated short films and stuff, like no, I honestly got nominated for Best Actor in a Houston Film Festival, and
that's
he'd
right.
mentioned something. Oh, so you're acting again? Blah blah blah. I like just liked it, didn't really respond back, and then I go through this like traumatic experience in my relationship. I'm like, all right, I got to figure out. I got to just pour all my energy into the arts, more stand up shows. Let's film some more stuff. So, yeah, I reached out. I'm like, yo, I am like, what do you got, for me? And then he's like, oh, you could come down to Mexico. I'll pay for your flight.
Instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Literally, he was
questions
like,
asked.
exactly.
Straight away.
Yeah.
It was the little bubble. He hadn't even finished typing. Come down to Mexico.
Dick pic. Come down to Mexico.
Yeah, like I legit like feel like the guy was just sitting there like in the room like waiting for him like to respond like years
Churning
gone
out
by.
script
Yeah,
real
exactly.
quick.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
My captive
Gotta make that
prisoner.
look
I mean,
legit.
delete Tony. Yeah.
Matt walks into the room.
Yeah.
Matt takes off pants.
Man never leaves the room. He's dead. Yeah.
Very
Yeah. So
direct script.
We start making out, and it's so good. They keep going.
yeah. So
Never
anyways,
stops.
Did you see any of like his like novella?
he sent me an IMDb.
links?
Well, here's the thing. So he sent me an IMDb credit for this project that he was working on in 2020, right? And there's like, it's you see the craft service tables, you see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, but no actual clip of the product, right?
Was he working craft services?
He's just looking creepy on the photos. So, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Dude, I think it's fucking crazy that you, with all of what you just told us, you're like, yeah, I'll fly to Mexico and you be the only person I know that I'm meeting, and I'll
Yeah,
fucking
man.
let
I'm
you
a vulnerable spot, dude. I literally just moved out of my
Vulnerable
house.
spot, also fucking insanely risky and stupid.
I'm saying that
The
in the
whole
sense
time,
of
I'm
like
like, you're
where I
fucking
was in my
nuts, dude.
personal life. Because I'm like, I literally just moved out of my house, right? I'm displaced from where I was living, my whole relationship, and then I get this option to go do something artistic, right? I'm the big star, man. I'm getting paid,
Like Tony
and
Klein, novella star.
and I'm getting paid like a good amount of money for like a couple days worth of shoot. Everything, all my expenses are paid for, room and board. And then when I get there, I'm in the presidential suite. I got the whole top floor to myself. I got a fridge full of Miller Lite. I got a massage every day and stuff. But
did.
but
Wait, who's the massage
Yeah.
from?
it was from him. No, just kidding.
He's like,
No, it was from a
all the
massage
butt plugs
person.
were lined up
Yeah,
ready.
but there's just a lot of like
What's going on there? Oh,
I'll just open a couple of these up.
quick refill.
let me
We're
get
going
him
to
out of
take
the way
a
for
slight
everybody.
break here, and we'll be back with the rest of Tony's story.
No dead air. Yeah. So after you got jerked off by this guy, then what happened?
I'm getting a handy.
Did it feel good?
It was rough calloused hand. No, nothing happened, but there
Thank
was
you.
definitely like a vibe. So okay, I didn't know if I told you this. So I get the first day we're in town, right? We go to dinner. I hit the ground running. I'm already doing fucking shit. Like one of the scenes we're dealing with is way too close to my personal life as far as like what it's a divorcing couple. I'm gonna omit a lot of details here. Kids in the mix. The son, I have the son in real life. But the guy who wrote the script, he's playing my kid. So I'm 40. This dude's like 30 something. And I'm like, so you're really rounding yourself down here and stuff.
Wait, the guy's playing your son?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In one of the,
Wait, what?
yeah. So in the first,
Yeah, you can't skip over that.
yeah, exactly.
No, wait a minute.
And then we kissed.
The guy that's playing my
Try to get
son.
out of
So basically, he's definitely in his 30s. I don't know how old exactly, but like that's one of those things. Where I'm like, is anyone else
Like a
get
whole
this?
nother layer to this shit.
There's
now.
so
Did he
much-
wear
there's
a
so much
uniform,
shit.
like a school uniform?
I didn't know I was naked. Yeah, it was birthday suits.
That sounds
Now,
legit.
I was wearing my regular clothes. There's just so much shit where I'm like, dude, how is this actually a legit production? Because like, I never saw a full script, no contract, right? I filled out zero paperwork for this shit. And then again, too, like the scariest thing was this guy is my liaison the entire time there. I don't know anyone else that's down there. No one speaks a lick of English. None of the fucking places, like, it's not like Cancun where you can just go over and then someone knows English.
Right.
No one knows this shit. No one knows anything. And it's a creepy ass old city from the 1500s. So there's a lot of fucking like castles and mansions and everything's got fucking secret passages and dungeons and corridors and shit. And we're taking these like this tour and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get pushed in one of these fucking rooms.
it's a call.
I'm
That's
never gonna see
pretty
the
cool.
yeah, it was like a lot of crazy ass shit. But also too, one of the last day I was in town, like he's like, let's take some sightseeing photos. So I just basically, he's taking pictures of me, not like, weird shit, but like just in front of like monuments and stuff. I'm like, this is the kind of shit you see on Dateline. When I go missing, and it's just like,
Wait,
my
he's taking a
accounts,
lot of pictures of you.
yeah,
out?
just by myself.
Shit in the basket.
By myself. He's just like, yeah, I'll be captive and shit that. And like, he's still on my Instagram, like, having a great time. I'd never come back to the US. Or just like posting shit from my account. I had that vision while I was dating. I'm like, this is just weird.
But talk about, here's the thing though. I mean, yeah, that is.
We'll dial it back. So I do
the scene.
exactly. So the scene that we're playing father son, like it's too close to home. So I'm doing some Brando-esque acting, like fucking. I got tears coming out, the lip quiver, all because I'm there. I know this emotion and shit that. And
What's the lip quiver? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
Legit.
wait, you fucking.
He's been able to do
Yeah,
that
you
for
get
a long
it.
time.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah. So I like I'm literally in the moment of these scenes. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking like acting the shit out of this scene right now. And the other actors are emoting, and acting is reacting. So they're like feeding off this energy too. And then the next day we did this like fantasy script, which is the original script this kid gave me like 10 years ago, and it's called The Cursed Prince, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then basically in this, it's kind of like Fight Club meets like Labyrinth, right? So it's like just picture like over the top costumes. I have like a big collar and shit. I look like a wizard. Like yeah,
Like the labyrinth with abs. and
exactly.
Shirt
Yeah.
off.
It's Aberynth. But way gayer. So
Yeah, I cannot
so the
believe
twist is this. So it's kind of one of those things where like I end up like I think I'm like the devil or something like that. And then I don't know because I never got the full script.
Was he a bad boy?
Yeah, exactly. It's been naughty.
He's
But
writing
he
it
made
as
a
he goes.
deal
He's
with
like,
the devil,
Yes.
right?
He's behind Ziegler.
Yeah.
You're the devil.
Takes the pants all the way off. Yeah. So at some point in time, it goes from me being like, we make a deal, guy goes on with his life, gets everything he wants and shit, falls in love. Then it turns out the person he fell in love with isn't a woman, it's me. And it's a breakaway reveal from a dancing scene, and they kiss and they pull back and it's like me and this guy. And I'm like, wait a second. So is it like, are we kissing when you do the reveal? Like, where am I at? And I told him, like, I do that because again, this is my second day in Mexico. I'm already weirded out by this whole thing. Like, I feel like even my hotel room has cameras and stuff. Like, I didn't leave a fucking beer on the table. I left no chance for me to be roofied while I was there. I was just really trying to make sure I wasn't going to get fucking murdered or kidnapped the entire time I'm there. And
I think this guy deserves some of your loving. He's put so much effort into this.
No.
That's some good.
Well, that's the other
He's
thing too.
really
So
gone
then,
for it.
then
Like,
his
give him
excitement.
something.
I was like, because everyone he talked to would like, they'd be like, like he'd say something in Spanish. I'm like, oh, and this guy, I'm like, is it like, is it, or like, you're all happy? Like he finally got the guy who's after forever. Like I have no idea. And it sounds arrogant as fuck to say that kind of shit. Like this guy's been down in Mexico pining over me for 10 years, but I mean, come on. You know?
So when Tony was down there, I'm like, dude, you got to call me when you get down there because I thought this whole thing was sketchy as fuck. And I'm like, man, I'm fucking, his best friend. I'm fucking worried about him. Like, all right, this sounds shady as fuck. This kid's notoriously known for like picking up hitchhikers and shit. When we lived in Wisconsin, he'd be like, hey there, stranger, you need a lift? And like, I'm like, the guy's got a fucking machete.
What's
like,
rolled up in that carpet?
Yeah.
Get in.
You need help putting that in your van? I got you. Yeah. I'm really good at lifting stuff.
Yeah, so he's
not
like,
asking questions.
Like too good of a heart. And so I'm like, all right, man, just be careful. So he calls me when he's down there and he's like, dude, look at this place. It's fucking, dope. I'm in the presidential suite and he showed me like
Eric sees someone behind me like this.
Yeah.
There's a massage table in the back.
Yeah. I think there was. And then, but it was really nice and everything. And I'm like, hey man, you know what? Even if this guy is just doing this to fucking like, he likes you or whatever, I'm like, he's treating you nice. He's fucking pulling all the stops for you. You deserve this. Either way, I'm like, you fucking just treat yourself, buddy. Even the guy was doing it right. I'm like, whatever he was doing, he was treating you right. I'm like,
if you're gonna creep out somebody, this is the way to do it.
Yeah. Like he's treating you.
No, it was not. It was real, honestly, like, again, too.
It seemed like he pulled out all the stops for you.
Yeah.
And from the situation you're coming from, I was like, fuck, man.
That's why I
think you're
enjoying
selfish for not making out of him.
I know. That's me. I know. But I tell you,
Going for all that trouble for you.
A little tongue on the cheek.
So we're in this whole scene thing. Should I give you the whole long version?
Yeah, fuck it. We saw it on.
Yeah, okay. So there's this really good Mexican director. Like, again, this guy does not speak anything, but he was trying to get me to fucking like, get to that level in this scene of this mystery, like fucking Renaissance era fucking fantasy film and shit, right?
Just coming up with shit on the fly. Like crossing every single genre.
Dude, it was just like, I mean, I gotta find the photos because the shit I was wearing is just like
the beach volleyball ball was
it's just a lot of like, it just it was a lot, man.
You're a Top Gun pilot.
Yeah.
With fucking dresses.
Dude, we did a fucking
with Fight Club essence and
divorce scene one. I did this fantasy one with the Labyrinth one, right? And I did this other one that was like I'm a detective, and then this other one that I'm in like some fucking mansion. So I'm wearing like trench coat. It's just a whole bunch of shit where like this we wear this wardrobe from. So when the guy picks me up from the airport, we stop by.
What was he wearing?
Nothing. I don't know, just
they sound like really good porno scenes, to be honest.
That's what I was saying.
I think that's what he's
it was
doing.
okay. It was, but the funny thing was literally just me wearing my standard uniform of a white V-neck and fucking Levi's jeans and shit. Then I had a fucking trench coat on top, and I'm freezing. I'm a fucking little bitch. I'm always cold. Mexico was cold as fuck while I was down there. Right. So we go do some like scenes around, just getting some B-roll or like photos for some frames that are gonna be in like some of the scenes. But the thing is, like so much shit doesn't make sense, and that's why
like you're like finding like you as you're saying this
trying
out
so
loud,
hard.
Absolutely. There's so many red flags going off, and I'm just like,
no, they're just thinking, how is he not clocking onto what we're trying to do here? Take your clothes off already,
dude. So like, when I get back,
what else do we have to do?
How many signs do we have to give this guy
before he gets in?
Yeah.
How many bottles of lube and fucking
yeah. I mean, the guy was trying to feed me edibles the whole time I was down there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not good on that. Like I brought some edibles anyways. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat these. I don't know what the fuck's in here. Because here's the thing, dude. I don't trust any of that shit. What if it's laced with something? Now I have a fucking drug problem. That's how those people get into human trafficking, where they got the chicks all doped up. They're all dope sicks. They don't leave. They just get fucked and they get their meds and shit. Like
he's gonna be like Liam Neeson coming after you and taking.
Yeah. It's like I don't have a special set of skills.
I really don't.
I do have a best friend that's missing.
And that's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that fucking turn. Real gumpy and hand the phone.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Tony!
Yeah. I may be dumb, but I know what friends are.
No, well,
That's Forrest Gump taken, that is.
Yeah, right.
Jenny.
I was flying.
Find you, Jenny.
I may be dumb, but I know what friends are.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I'm going all over the place on this thing.
That's
but
a good sketch.
the
Sorry, just
first
Forrest Gump
night-
taken. Just Mark, write that down for you. Forrest Gump taken. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. All right, carry on, Tony. Sorry about that.
It's just take.
Back to Mexico.
Yeah, take.
Yeah, the first time we were there, I thought we were having a production dinner, right? So we go to this fucking fancy restaurant. It's a big round 8-top. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm like, well, I'll sit next to Raj because he speaks the language. And I don't know anyone else, so I'm like, he'll be the one translating. And then as the server comes over, who speaks zero English, all the menus are in Spanish. I'm like, oh yeah, I am definitely fucking like out of my element here. Starts pulling away all the settings. Now it's just us two sitting at this giant 8-top, and I'm next to this dude. I'm like, oh man, like this is like, I also want to sit across and try to do like the Batman, yelling across like, how's your dinner over there type thing, like, But I just was like, this looks like we're on a date. And it definitely felt like we're on a date. And I was like, this is not like, I don't like this at all.
I'm just imagining, is it like a giant room with a giant table and you're just sitting on opposite ends? What is this?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like there's many people there.
It was a round table. We were sitting right next to each other. It's like Eric and I just sitting next to each other. And then he's ordering
Like
for
an
me.
8-top.
And he's like, and my man over here, this. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, and then orders way too much. Orders like a tomahawk steak, like just pulling all stops. Just like
Really?
all
Dude,
this
this
shit.
guy's
dude.
a legend.
All this
He's
shit.
fucking-
All this shit.
Respect to this.
Yeah,
Then-
he's a
yeah.
real romantic
I'm
there.
not gonna lie.
Romantic
I can attract
predator.
the best of them.
Yeah.
And then he ends up getting at the end like these, like somebody over next to us, the neighboring table had a birthday thing. So they bring the fucking sparklers out like it's bottle service, and there's they got the cake and shit. So sure enough, I'm like, I'm good. I'm trying to be done. He orders me another beer, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. But I've been up since I had a fucking red eye. Flew out Valentine's night at midnight. So I got into town at 1, and I just kept fucking moving, man. Just odd scene to odd scene to odd scene to weird massages to, all this shit. So now I'm at dinner in this odd fucking date with this guy that's the reason why I'm there.
You've still got the makeout scene to come that he's hoping for.
Well, we didn't get there yet. But the fucking cakes come with the fucking sparklers and shit, and they start singing happy birthday or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they were singing. They're singing us song to me like,
Wait,
it's
whose
gonna have
birthday
sex
was
with you. No one's. No one's birthday.
He's
And we
gonna
got-
have sex with you. They could have been in Spanish.
That's what I'm saying. I've noticed the fucking ever. So and dude, there's
He's gonna fuck you tonight.
and he
Gonna
videoed
fuck you
it. So I gotta
tonight.
show you guys. There's just it's like the look on my face is like, dude, I fucking cannot wait to get on the plane and get the fuck out of here. Give me my money and get me the fuck out of here. And keep my fucking
Did they keep saying you're gonna be a movie star?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna
be a big star kid. Yeah. Your face be all over billboards because you're missing.
Mexican
Yeah, so-
casting couch kind of.
That's
So
it.
cut to next day, do the weird fantasy thing. We have this little break for lunch. I'm like, I ain't really feeling the scene, and I'm like, I
course you're
can't.
not.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not trying to kiss. I know that was in the original script, and she's like, no, I would never do something I didn't ask you about. I was like, okay, cool. And then
he asks you.
when we go down to the fucking talk to the crew or after that, and the director's like, you're not giving me. He's like got this lime. He's giving this analogy. Like, you're only giving me this much. You need to give me the whole lime, 100% of yourself. I'm like, yeah, I don't really I'm not feeling this fantasy script and me with the fucking cape and shit like a wizard.
Can we do the
But,
Fight Club
but the
one
one that,
instead?
I'm playing myself, basically a guy going through divorce. I got that shit in spades. Let's just stick on that one and stop putting me in these fucking roles that I want to do.
Yeah.
And
This is
And
gonna
then-
pop up on Pornhub as one of the most
gonna be
dramatic
amazing.
intros to a porn scene
Yeah.
ever. Somehow
It's
you're
come
gonna
to
be
some stunt
dressed
next time,
elaborate.
yeah.
They're gonna stick your
fucking
head on
having this
someone.
really
Yeah.
emotional scene about losing your family and shit,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna segue into some crazy fucking gangbang or some
Yeah,
shit.
just pan across after your monologue, after your beautiful monologue, and you thought that was it, and it pans across, just an 8-way orgy going on. You had no idea what was going on behind that
To do
wall.
with this orgy?
You just thought it was a clever shot.
Yeah.
Very cinematic.
Yeah.
As
it was
Dracula,
So I end up
Brad
telling the
Pitt and
dude.
Dracula.
I tell my dude to tell the fucking director, I'm like, look, I'm in an emotional spot. I'll give it my best after we break for lunch and shit. But I'm going through a divorce here, And then the guy gets up and walks around the table, sits next to me, and gives me this fucking bear hug. And he's like, he's going through divorce too. So we have this emotional thing. We both get kind of teary eyed. We're having a moment. The fucking chick that's in the production crew, she starts crying. We're all at this fucking lunch in this Mexican restaurant. And I feel like we all walked out of there better. I felt more confident about everything. And I was like, it made like the last day I was in town a lot easier because I'm like, all right, everyone's on the same page. Like, I don't feel like anyone's gonna murder me anymore. It seems like it was kind of okay. And then, you know, that day that was the last day was when we went around and got all these like random photos of me places where I was like, okay. And like the dude was not in any of them. So I'm like, all right, like not that I was trying to get photos with him and stuff like that, but I was kind of like, why? This seems like you're just kind of like, it seemed a little too set up, a little staged, right?
But it's just photos of you plastered around.
I meant like just every location you could be sightseeing at in San Luis Potosi, Mexico. And yeah, I fly back the next day. I was also worried about missing my flight. I just want to get the fuck out of there and get back home. And the second I landed fucking back here, like I kind of fell back. I had a show that night. Just went right back on the grind and stuff. And then that next weekend I had this table read. So I get like confirmed. I get paid. They paid me like an extra $500 on top. I get paid like, you know, a bonus on top of what, because I had worked the first day I was in town. So it was a nice pay. They came through the money. So things seem like it's like, you know, good. But I also feel like it's a grooming thing where it's just like, no, see, we pay well. We treat you well. It's like, and then we fucking murder you. Or they sell me for 10 grand. I don't really know. But like, I just didn't feel comfortable about it again. And I'm like, at the end of the day too, the thing is this though. So what I was told was the role, if I would have booked it as the lead, was 10 grand. So I'm like, I go back down for like 2 days and shoot, you know, for 2 days and get 10 G's out of this. And if you got, and he's like, well, they really liked you for this one project. We'll do a table read for it on Saturday. And they also really like you for this other project. So I'm like, what's that mean? He's like, well, that's more days, more pay. I'm like, okay, cool. I can make fucking 20 racks right now. And, you know, in 4 days, make fucking 20K. That's insane, right? So we do the first table read. It's this script that, again, I only have like one little bit of a scene in it. There's no actual full script. And I'd never done a table read like that where you're just reading a little part of it. Plus, half the shit was in Spanish, half the shit was in English. It was all, the punctuation was all fucked up. There wasn't even like the characters. I'm like, who wrote this thing? Like, you're just hitting matching keys. And I'm like, and
well,
how are you
make sense of it's in Spanish.
Yeah, and I'm like, and how are you?
It's like, this doesn't make any sense, even though I don't speak Spanish.
No, but it's just like, but like, it's, I'm saying, there's just like, it's
I can't read this shit.
It's not even words.
So like, and then it was in the stuff that was in English, it was like broken English. So I'm like, and he's like, you gotta stay on book. I'm like, this is not even a book to stay on. So like, how the fuck is this going to, you know? So I was kind of getting frustrated with that. And then I'm reading with this chick who's out in Rhode Island, and she's like, she seemed more familiar with it, right? And this is the one that I looked up on IMDb, and they already started production on. So like, how are we still filming this? And are you like, what is like, how are you going to chop this and edit it all together? Because you have some scenes shot with some people fucking 3 years ago. Now I'm going to come in and play in this as well. And then on top of it, while we did the scene, like we read it, like we went through the table read like twice. And he's like, well, remember, I'm like, I was playing the role of a doctor. He's like, remember, but you're not the doctor. You're an imposter. I'm like, why would I know that? Why would I know that? This is like some fucking, you're a guy playing another guy like Tropic Thunder and shit. Now. Yeah. I'm like,
is it the same script?
This is a different script. This is like the fifth one I fucking read from this fucking guy.
It's got so many layers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so many.
Yeah. So then we finished that table read. The chick drops off the Zoom call. Now me and the dude are going to read this new project that just came into my lap, because while I was shooting all this B-roll, like I walk into this kitchen and there's like one of those creepy ass clocks with the cat's tail. You know what I'm talking about? The little Felix cat looking clock. Mm-hmm. And this director is like, oh, what's creepier, that clock or this guy? Because they wanted to cast me in some serial killer like Ted Bundy Dahmer thing. I was like, cool. I just look that creepy that I just fucking immediately like, that's the murderer we're looking for.
Into that
yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Ladies like the serial
if it's
killer,
money,
you know?
I'll take the, whatever.
Sexy.
So we start reading this script, and it's like, again, I should have known, being like a Dahmer-esque thing. It's like some gay stuff, which is fine if you want to have a gay actor. I'm not that guy though. Like, and like that's just out of my comfort zone. I also don't want to have to be the first person I kiss out of my marriage to be another guy.
You got to bring
right?
those gay roles back to our straight people, Tony. You're the guy.
No, man, I'm not trying to.
You're our savior. I don't get any of those roles anymore.
No one can play gay better than me. Yeah.
So what did
my thing is this? We read the script. I bring a movie. I'm at my buddy's house, kind of put my arm around that type of thing, and then all of a sudden it's like cuts to this kissing thing, and we go over it, and he's like, "Okay, do you want to read it again?" I'm like, "Yeah. Let's go back to that kissing scene. What was that all about?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just like a kiss." I'm like a peck? Like what kind of kiss? And then he sends me the audition video of another guy that auditioned for this, and I feel bad for this poor bastard because he didn't even get the role, and this fucking like making out with another dude. I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, and I sat and I like slept, and I'm like, okay, dude, like.
Maybe I think that's a grooming thing.
It is a grooming thing.
Have an acting teacher. No, I didn't see it, but my friend did. Where he would literally he would say, "Do this for an audition. It's an acting exercise. You got to take your top off." And all these like insecure kids are like, oh, okay, all these guys, And then he would send literally the the tapes of like them making out with either him or someone else that he's just recorded, and it was awful. And then he'd send it to the next person, be like, "Look, well they did it, it's fine," and it would work. I think you're
Yeah, dude, I ain't trying to.
They're trying to get you, Tony.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So here's the thing. So I slept on it. Went out with like a friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And she's like, well, like she was trying to talk me into like to being open minded. I'm like, I know that I'm just not. That's not what I moved to LA to act in. I wanted to be in action movies or just some shit that like that's the kind of role I want to get into. And then again, too, kind of what we're talking about at the top of this podcast. I am in that position where like I don't give a fuck about a lot of things, and I ain't taking any bullshit from anybody anymore. So like as far as this is what I need to do to make it, I'm good. I ain't gonna make it. So
it's a good attitude. What if you find out like a year down the line that Anthony Hopkins took that role that they offered you, and he's getting all the Oscars?
I would feel bad. But here's the thing too. Remember
Gay
this, Charles.
salesman.
It's not that it's a Scorsese production or something like that. This is some fucking like film festival shit in Mexico and the U.S. It's a short. It's not a big. It's not a 6-digit paycheck. It's just like
coming in undercover.
I think like the biggest problem with that whole Mexico trip story.
It's not over yet.
I'm just saying. Well, at least up
Gets
until
murdered
now,
at the end.
is that like it would have been.
I'm dead.
I think a lot more comfortable for you if they would have given you more information about.
That's what I was saying.
Was going on.
So
there wasn't
bring me
always
to the
like
point.
what is.
Yeah, but let's be honest, they didn't know what was going on.
No.
They were trying something.
That's the thing. Is like again, too. Anytime you want to try to fucking woo or screw someone, you always you groom them and you keep them compartmentalized. And you only give them a little bit of information to keep stringing them along, right? So, we did this thing on a Saturday. We did a table read. Monday, I was going to call him and be like, "Yo, I'm not comfortable with this. Take me off that. I don't want to be that part of that production for the kissing film." And I end up like, I hit my vape pen, so I was a little stoned, right? I got the truth serum flowing through me, right? So he calls me, and I'm stuck in LA traffic, and he's like, "Oh, hey," I'm like, "Hey, man, I meant to call you. Like, I'm not down with the kissing scene." And then I start going into why I'm not down with it and stuff, and then it just becomes, I'm like, "Look," he's like, but like he's like, it's just like it's if you want to be in like movies, you have to do that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, those aren't the movies I want to do though. So like he's like, well, if you're uncomfortable with the LGBT community, like you live in West Hollywood. I'm like,
he's guilt tripping you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I know where I live,
Like
and that's
shaming
fine.
you for not-
But
Yeah.
like I have nothing against the LGBTQ community. I just don't think that, like, in fact, I support that. And if you really support them
Yeah, they can have the
yourselves,
roles.
no, I threw it back and I'm like, if you actually support them, you should actually cast someone from that community as opposed to taking money off their fucking table and giving it to me, because you should have a gay actor for this, because it actually is about a gay guy, right? So not like some straight guy who's becoming gay or whatever, to just like get the right fucking person for the role. So he's, well, we're friends. I'm like, yeah, I know I guess I'm like, well, we're not really friends. Like, we know each other, but like, that doesn't have anything to do with it. He's like, well, he's like, well, we're friends. I said it again. He said friends a couple times. So I just throw it back. I'm like, yeah, we're friends, but I feel like you want to be more than friends. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, man. Like, come on. Every time you give me a script that involves me and you kissing, like, come on. Like I'm not fucking dumb here. And he's like, Tony, not everyone that is nice to you wants to sleep with you. I'm like, I'm not saying everyone that does it, but I'm saying you do. Like, I just start getting real. I'm like, because then they start pissing me off. I'm like, dude, don't fucking like play me like for a fool. Like, let's fucking be real here. Like, I think there's some more to this shit. Every time since I've known you, you give me a script. There's always some point in time where I'm gonna kiss you or make out with you and shit, and I'm not cool with that. So like, just want to get that off the top. We haven't talked about fucking like shoot schedules. I haven't gotten a full fucking script yet. Like we haven't even talked about compensation. Like, there's so much gray area.
Right.
I'm just gonna trust you on a whim. Like, okay, let's talk about this. Why haven't I got a script yet? I'll send you the script. Okay, send it to me. And then like I'm talking like this, and he's like, "Why are you yelling at me?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling. This is just how I fucking talk, dude. Like, I just like if I talk any quieter, I'm gonna be
Babe, stop
mumbling."
yelling
Yeah.
at me.
You seem so
Baby.
angry. I'm so surprised. I'm like, I'm not angry, man. I just like have questions and shit. I'm like, if you could see me right now, I'm smiling. I just like legit like don't understand why it's so difficult to hit send on a script. If you started production of this 3 years ago, why can't you just send me the script?
How does this? How does he get the money for all this? Because he is paying you.
That's the other part. I don't know. That's fucking creepy.
Well, here's
dude.
the thing. So I know I've seen this on casting sites before, and casting agents have told me about it. So every so often you'll see something come up on a casting network that says, "Come to Peru, $100,000. We're shooting a movie, in the middle of nowhere, whatever it might be." And I've seen one where it was in Colombia, like 80 grand, literally just straight up on there. And it's actually, this is what my old agent told me, because it's legit. They pay it and they make the movie, but they think it's cartel related. They're trying to get into the movie industry to legitimize the businesses, and there's big money in it too, so it helps support
That's an
everything.
interesting
So I don't know how. Maybe he's not. I don't know how he's getting his money, but I've seen it. I've seen Peru. I've seen Colombia. I saw Peru twice, and it was all around the 100K mark, and it was
Yeah,
legit.
man,
They
I
got
don't
paid
know.
because they got vetted for it.
Well,
Everybody
he
that was-
he also got paid Western Union, which I thought was kind of suspect too. I'm like,
Well, yeah, this
I don't-
isn't Union. It's all like
No,
and
Western
that's-
Union.
Western
It's a
Union.
fucking
You know what
money
that is?
transfer
Oh
fucking
no,
thing.
sorry, Western.
Yeah, it's like-
the
It wired me the money,
yeah, yeah. I was
Oh,
like, that's
interesting.
kind of like
Total
if it
typical
was like-
cartel.
Yeah, if it was like a legit like production or whatever, I think it'd be like through an LLC or like something other than
Mhm.
Western Union. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
There was
Maybe
some
he's
kind
not
of-
cartel, but I know that is a
At the end
thing.
of
I
the
They
day,
try
that
to
was
actually
their
get into
excuse
the
too,
film
was like,
industry.
oh yeah, you don't have to worry about taxes and stuff. I'm like, taxes aren't what I'm worried about. More my life, my virginity.
yeah, that was
You're back safe and sound.
Back safe and sound. I still like, again, the conversation. We just kind of circled back around again, time and time again. I'm like, okay, dude, look, like I just send me the script. He's like, well, maybe you should call me when you're not angry. I'm like, I'm not angry. Just like send me the script. And I
We
know
need a relationship.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
fight.
He's like, oh, it's our first fight.
He's like, babe.
Yeah, babe. Come on, babe.
Yeah,
Well, you got a nice experience. I've never had that. I stay
Yeah,
in
it was-
Motel 6s when I do. It does get made, though, to be fair.
yeah.
the movie
and
gets
you
made.
don't have concerns about what's really going to happen.
No,
what's
I get put
really
in a dump,
fucking
but it
going on
does
here.
get made.
Yeah. So I still have to fucking I think I'm still on a fucking WhatsApp feed with this dude, and I still think they think I'm coming down there on the 26th. I'm like, I'm not fucking leaving the U.S. ever again to go to Mexico in that region and shit. Because there was a day on set when I was like,
last words.
when I was doing that fantasy film scene, I was like, I'm gonna go back to the hotel right now. I'm gonna fucking get a cab. I'm gonna go right to the fucking airport. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, I don't trust cab drivers. I don't know anybody. So I'm stuck here.
What
And
was
I
it
was
again?
like-
A fantasy boxing romantic movie.
Well, it wasn't boxing. It was just
I
like
still want to see the footage that they shot of you dressed up like the
Yeah, I know.
fucking labyrinth.
Yeah,
and
that's
doing
what I've
the
been thinking
scene.
about.
Didn't you say you had like fangs or
I
something?
didn't have fangs. I had like these fucking
Long
gloves
nails.
on. Gloves on that had like long nails
And
and,
then you
shit.
had to like dance or some shit.
No big deal.
He doesn't want you to see it.
Dude, I
This
wanna
guy
see that.
hooked up with him.
I want to
No,
see
I didn't
that
hook up with- I didn't hook
so
up with anybody.
bad. I want to see that so bad. That's got to be like the fucking.
Nah. I had my
That's
hair was
lots
longer
of
than
shit.
two. Like I'll be
You
honest,
had long hair.
my hair was longer. No, I got a
Oh, I
haircut
was
after I
gonna
got
say
back.
they give
but
you
it was
like a long hair wig. I'm like,
beautiful.
fuck.
no,
Gorgeous.
God, no.
Perfect.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
I like that.
perfect. Yeah.
Fucking.
Give me
But
more.
the other thing too, so like one of the first days I was there, the first day I was there, we stopped by this house that was his house. It was like a mansion and shit. And there was pictures of him in there, but I'm pretty sure it was his parents' house or something. And then we drove past this prop storage place, right? And then like the last day we were there, we had to stop there while we're waiting for like the women that were taking photos of us. So just again saying that shit sounds so fucking weird. Yeah. No, that old chestnut. And I was like, who lives here? It's like in this little fucking room. It's depressing looking. There's just like
You know,
old
always stuff up with the
VHSs
naked
everywhere.
pictures.
Yeah, TV on the floor, twin size bed. And like I was like, whose room is this?
VHS
And
everywhere.
he's like, oh, me and Nick watched a movie here. I'm like, you and Nick watched, the other guy that was down here auditioning watched a movie here instead of the fucking mansion you have?
I've
I'm
seen
like,
these horror movies.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, I don't know about this. And then when we did the table read, bro was in the fucking room that I was in. I'm like, that's your fucking room. See, all this shit's, nothing's adding up. And I was just like, yeah, fuck this. And then like,
They're just like, how did we not get him? How did we not murder him or kidnap him? Or how did he get away?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm lucky I got out of there, but I was just like, again, yeah, really
Jump into conclusions.
foolish to go back there again.
Lucky to get out of there.
yeah.
It could have been.
Well,
over.
they even said some shit like, "Oh, wait till you see the."
I bet he's a
production
nice
when they
guy.
come
I
from
bet
Mexico."
he's lovely.
Where do you see the basement?
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, you're gonna shit when you see the basement. You'll never see anything again.
My God. Yeah, dude, you get yourself in all these fucking crazy ass situations. Since I've known you, fucking always like just
Yeah, it's the best.
taking the. I mean, that's
Right
why I ended
after
up in
the divorce.
California.
Yeah, this is true.
Seriously.
Yeah,
That's
Hey,
how you
man,
like,
I'm
well,
there.
I'm moving to California. You want to go? I'm
even
like, yeah,
before that
sure.
though, Eric, literally when I got you the job painting and stuff, I was like, hey, I got this idea. Even when we got in the fucking survey.
All the dumb shit like that, a lot of it has turned out to be the best decisions, but you're the risk taker of like
I'm a hell of a trier.
friends
Yeah.
and the people I have in like, that I know, that I trust, that I'm like, okay, like, yeah, this may be crazy, but like, I trust this person and like, I'll take that jump with you and see what the fuck happens, and 9 times out of 10, it works out,
Yeah.
but there's always like, he's taking more of those jumps on by himself too, though.
Yeah.
Where he's like, and his crazy ass thing last night, or like went to
Yeah.
Mexico, or I fucking picked up hitchhikers, and I'm like,
You want to jump?
that's
the gas
crazy. I
pedal,
won't
yeah.
jump with you on that one, but like,
Yeah.
he definitely has, pushed me to get outside of my comfort zone, and moving out here was one of those things. And I
That's
can
the
say,
best way. Everyone's got to do something extreme in their life.
Yeah.
Everyone's
needs
got to have that story.
Yeah, everybody
Or you
needs
haven't
like
lived yet.
a Tony to kind of push them to fucking do something
need
that
that.
Jeez,
person.
guys, come on.
nobody
Keep
else
going.
would.
We're
fucking
saying
do.
you're crazy, Tony.
Yeah.
You're nuts. You're a crazy fucking friend.
This isn't a
I like
compliment.
I'm a hell of a trier. I'll try some shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't always work out that well. Like my marriage, I'm just kidding. Less than 30% success rate. I'll give it a shot.
I was like, you want to do
lasted
this?
longer
You're
than
nuts,
most.
man.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I don't know,
You're like,
man.
I'm
Look
gonna
at
do
the
it. I'm like,
odds,
all
dude.
right,
They're
well.
great. Yeah.
Well,
So,
What?
Charlie,
Yes.
do you have a story about almost getting murdered? Yeah.
Oh, I kind of
You
do.
Yeah, this
that's
is all a
right.
lead up.
Cartel related.
Mm-hmm.
that
All
is
right.
a great. I was like,
And it
whoa.
does involve a massage too.
There you go.
And a massage table.
I set the table for you.
Damn, that
And
was
I was a good guy in this
that-
story too.
Yeah.
that was like
Which led me to trouble.
the best like little setup.
It was.
I was like, where's he going?
Impressive, actually. It's the pro right there.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hear about my cartel massage parlor
Yeah, absolutely.
possible
the people want to know.
kidnapping? Maybe
They want to
we'll
see
get
about
to
it.
that.
Yeah.
People have been dying to hear this.
Yeah.
All right, so this came out of I used to be married too, right?
Mhm.
Me and the ex were trying to work it out for a short time. At least I think. Maybe she wasn't. You know, you kind of forget. You like to think it is, but
Yeah.
maybe she was over. Anyway, so we'd had an argument, another one. So we weren't living together at this time. So I leave the house. I'm driving back. I'm stressed. And I'm just thinking, you know what? I need to relax. I want a massage.
This is in California.
California. And this is maybe 7 p.m. at night. It's not that late. So I Google massage parlors near me. And it just gives me one near where I was. It was in Van Nuys at the time, okay? Which I didn't know was kind of a bit shady
Yeah,
in
it is,
certain
yeah.
parts. So I'm like, great, go get a massage. I get to the place, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but all the windows were blacked out and everything, you know? It didn't say, it said like something spa
Warning,
up top.
yeah.
Yeah, you should have said warning, like caution tape.
Do
Step
not
through
enter.
the caution tape.
Enter at your own risk.
Why is there a deadbolt on the lock to get inside this place?
Yeah, right. There's blood stains up the wall. No, it looked kind of legit, but it's LA. They're all sort of rough anyway.
Yeah.
So I go inside, and you know, can I get a massage, please? Yes, you may. All right, cool. Thank you.
One massage, please. Yeah.
That's all they asked. Actually, they didn't ask much more than that. They took me to a back room. So I start taking my clothes off, you know, take my top off. Oh, they said to me, take your clothes off.
They never asked you like what kind of massage or how long.
No.
Which is usually like the standard question.
Well, they
if you
said
go get a
60 minutes,
massage.
okay. I was like, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so they,
Yeah. So I get in there. I'm taking my clothes off, you know, and I was going to stay in my boxers because
Yeah.
I don't want to get naked. So I'm getting, you know, nice, lay on the table. There's although I admit at the time there was kind of like thumping more like DJ music instead of that calm, like, you know, I remember hearing like, and I was like, that's weird.
like all these little red flags start popping up.
Yeah. Shot.
Yeah, like, this isn't the
Oh, this is different. This is kind of
calming
nice. This is-
music.
That's
of the
funny. Instead of like
essence.
must be the type of massage they're going
It's
for.
like some kind of like, you know, pure mood soundtrack thing. It's like
whales and
just a
shit.
straight
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
Like, all right, come to room 2. Drop your towels and grab your glasses. It's Brooklyn. Yeah.
Dynamite coming up next to massage room 2.
God, it'll make so much
Private
sense
dance.
now. And when I think about it now, like I must have been in a dark spot because I wasn't catching on to anything. I
Give it
just
up
remember
for
like hearing,
Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters.
Rosie, make your way to room 5.
yeah.
You got a customer waiting for you.
He's indeed a handy lady.
All right, so where am I? I'm in the room. I get on the bed. I'm in my boxers. I'm laying there on my front. There's no towels or anything around, which I found weird, but
That's hilarious.
I assume she'll probably bring them with her.
She'll
you
bring
know?
the towels.
Provide, yeah.
No,
If I know
I-
her like I think I do.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm laying on the bed. The door's kind of in front of me. The door was the beaded doors instead of doors that you close. But it was an LA thing, you know?
Yeah.
It was, whatever, go beads.
Sometimes
that's
they
cool.
have that. That's a pack.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just gotta get out quick.
So I'm laying there, and I'm laying there for a while, and I'm wondering what's going on. And been quite a long time, to be honest. It must have been close to 10 minutes. And then I see, when I look up, a lady walk by in lingerie. So instantly I knew where I was, you know? I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. I don't want this. I just want a massage. I genuinely just want a massage. I'm stressed. So anyway, she eventually comes in. And then I'm like putting my clothes kind of sheepishly back on at this point, you know, because I don't want any of that stuff. So I've got my trousers on.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I'm really sorry, even though I haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for this. You know, I didn't realize it was that. You can keep doing what you're doing. I just wanted a massage, you know.
I'm really proud of you.
Proud of you. Your dad must be proud. And anyway, so I was like, I'll give you some money if you want, like I'll tip money, whatever, you know, for whatever. And then she just runs out really angry. It looked like she was about to cry. I'm like, what the fuck just happened there? And so I just kind of like keep slowly putting my clothes back on, you know, and I don't know what's going on. And I heard her talking to someone outside. I didn't know what it was. I heard a guy's voice.
She's like, pimp?
Yeah, basically. And then there was a silence. And then a dude comes in and he's angry. And he's completely shaved head, tattoos everywhere, kind of wearing like the baggy jeans and the baggy top and everything, you know.
Exactly the kind of guy you want to see when you're half dressed.
That's right. I'm not even fully dressed yet. And I'm not in good shape. So I've got like my man tits hanging out and stuff, you know. And
most vulnerable position
yeah,
ever.
I did not look strong. I wasn't a strong man in the moment, you know.
He's all, nice tits, win a job.
He's looking pretty good.
We could use one of you around here.
We haven't got anyone who can do tick jobs
How's
yet.
your grip?
All right, so he comes in and he's like, I'm like, oh, listen, hi, man. Like, you know, I'm really sorry about this. I'm going to go. But if you want, I told her I'll give you some money. You know, he's like, no. You wasted our time. You got to pay for the full thing. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Here's my card. Because it was like $60, I think he said. I'm like, all right, so here you go. And he's like, obviously they don't take cards, you know, because it's not a real massage parlor apparently. And so, oh shit, okay, well, I don't have any cash. Like I only have my card. I can drive to an ATM nearby if you want, you know, would that be okay? And to be honest, if I had done that, I would have driven off like really fast and not come back, you know. And he obviously caught on to that. So he's like, okay, that's fine, but I'm coming with you. Oh, fuck, here we go. The adventure begins.
Yeah,
so I get my clothes back on. I go to my car. And at the time, by the way, this was all over like $60. That's what's crazy about the whole story, you know? Because I was really expecting to like, all right, 5 Gs, you know?
For real, yeah.
And wipe me out, you know? Or it's $60. Anyway, so he says there's a McDonald's over the road.
He's got a moral compass that...
Exactly. Yeah, it's quite nice actually of him. Maybe he's a nice guy.
What's right is right. It's $60 even, and we're going to give him that $60.
It's quite nice of him, to be fair.
It's
I
like
feel
a nice
bad
round
bitching
number,
about
though.
this dude.
It wasn't like, you know...
Lovely guy. Anyway, there's a McDonald's over the road, he says. There's an ATM in there. We'll get the money from there. So I'm like, okay, cool. All right, we're driving over the road. I go to my car. And at the time, I had a really old BMW. I used to tell people it was a regular BMW, but, you know, it was a very, very old one. And whenever you try and turn it on, it wouldn't turn on for about 5 or 6 times. And it wasn't even that sound. It was just silence. So it was weird, you know? And I remember thinking, just please turn on, like with this guy coming. So I get in the car. I'm in the seat. He walks around to the passenger seat and he pulls up his top like this to show that he's got a gun handle in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, wow, this is really happening. Okay, here we go. All over $60 too.
And you're still in your boxers at this point.
No, I'm actually changing. Yeah. Stockings. Fucking got back into my garments. Anyway, so he gets in the car. He's already shown me the gun. He's like, all right, it's over the road. He shows me how to get there. We drive to the McDonald's, get to the ATM, but the McDonald's is closed. The ATM's inside. Oh, Jesus, here we go. But I remember as I drove to the massage parlor, because I was actually thinking about, do I get cash out or not at the time? As I drove, I remember seeing a Bank of America. So I said to the guy, look, I know there's a Bank of America just a few minutes down the road. We'll drive there. Don't worry. I'll get your money out. No problem. So he says, okay, sort of reluctantly agrees to it. And we start driving. I thought it was close. We drove for probably close to 15 minutes. So during this time, maybe like 5 minutes in, his legs going like this, you know, he starts getting shaky. And because he thinks maybe I'm up to something.
Did you have any music playing?
No, silence.
Really?
Should have put some music on.
Oh my
some nice
God,
country
even
music.
worse.
Or
That'd be
something.
funny though if you guys would have like jammed out a song you both like.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Takes the morning drink. Some like happy song and this like horrifying moment.
Oh yeah,
It's like a
something
sing
like that.
along.
That'd
Like,
be great. Something from
Journey,
movie.
Don't Stop Believing comes on.
Just a small I know we're in a bit of predicament right now, but can we sing to this? Know the words. Have a little
Start
duet.
that karaoke car in it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
and then back to business.
Cut to, it goes on and on.
both like slowly getting into the song, and then you both are like singing along.
Let's take a detour. Let's go longer.
Become best friends. We just
Danger. All right, so we're driving now. He's getting antsy, and he starts telling me about his past. Like, I just got out of jail, and I used to be the leader of. I won't mention the gang because I'm scared of mentioning the gang on a podcast in case they come after me.
Yeah.
But it's one of the big ones, one of the big scary ones.
One to be proud of.
Yeah. You'd know it anyway. So he told me he just got out of prison, and he started showing me his tats. And this gang has a specific tattoo that they all have. And he had one here on his lip, he had one on his neck, and he had one right here. And so I was like, that's
do you need
cool,
all
man.
those? I mean,
that's nice. Yeah,
one
that's a bit
suffice,
overboard. Well, we get it with one.
I need people to know from every angle who I
We
represent.
get it. You murdered people.
Yeah.
Bad
And then
Kenny, make a lot of bad decisions.
yeah, it's a bit overkill, huh?
Yeah.
You just need the one symbol.
He's
But,
an overkiller.
I bet he was.
Yeah.
But and then he showed. But so it's getting really
Wait, did he
tense.
tell you
We're
what
like
he
10
was in
minutes
prison
in.
for?
No, he didn't tell me he was in prison. I didn't want to ask.
Yeah, tax evasion.
I was just kind of like,
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna
cool.
say, like something
Yeah.
like stupid.
Yeah, something like really just stealing hamburgers
It's like
too many
Pee-wee's Big
times.
Adventures. You know those tags on the furniture say "Don't remove"? I took one off.
Stole a candy bar from a 7-Eleven.
I'm like, wait, really? Get out of my car. Get out of here.
Scram you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, and then we're there for about 10 minutes, and he pulls out of his pocket the knuckle dusters, the brass knuckles, you call them, and they're kind of gold, and they have little spikes in them. So he's like really took some time with me. He's like trying to make me scared, I'm just like, I swear it's this way. I thought the Bank of America was closer, but I swear I'm trying to. We do eventually get there because I'm scared at this point. I'm freaking shitting my pants.
Oh my God.
I give him. I thought I'll go double. I give him 120. Give him $120 instead of 60. Come back to the car, give him the 120, and he's so happy with the 120. Like he thought I was the nicest guy. And the whole way back, he's trying to get my Facebook account, and I'm like lying, saying I don't have Facebook. Do you have Instagram? No. I'm trying to try something where I don't go on social media. I'm a cool dude, get off that stuff. It's not healthy. I'm on everything. Like I'm obsessed with social media. And he's asking where I work, and at the time I was working at the Magic Castle, but I kept it vague and said I'm an actor. He's like, oh, you're an actor.
The average castle.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, I'm an actor. He goes, oh, what? I own all these streets downtown, which he probably didn't. But he was like, yeah, I own all these streets. So if you want to ever film something, let me know. I'll speak to the cops. They don't mess with me. I'll block off all the streets for you. You can do car chases.
You own
that.
these streets, yet you're trying to shake someone down
I
for
know,
60
for
bucks.
60 bucks. And he's so happy I give him 120. I'm also thinking, if I look like a guy that's going to be in a car chase movie. I'm not an action star.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that gets run over in that movie. But so anyway, hey, put up the thing, we're getting close. But I get back to the massage parlor, and he's like, he's still trying to get my number and everything. And he goes inside, he's telling all the ladies that are working, so this guy's super cool. Well, she never get on. I told him, Charlie, oh my God, Charlie, you need to come back. I was like, I don't think I'll be coming back.
Super.
And I remember getting home. When I got home, at the time I was living in a tiny cram studio with my roommate. We had bunk beds, and I literally was on.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I remember. But here's the thing. I know.
Wait a second. Wait a
Yeah,
second.
bunk
So wait,
beds.
post-divorce, you living in a room with bunk beds?
Oh my God. I went from
boy.
living in a nice house with her parents on Mulholland Drive. It was lovely. To just, it wasn't even a studio. It was listed as, I forget what it was listed as, but it was whatever's
bachelor?
below us.
Yeah, janitor's
I think it might be
bachelor.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not really big enough for a
Was
studio,
there
but
like
it's
a
similar
shared
thing.
bathroom that the whole floor used?
We had our own bathroom,
Hostel.
but because we had our own bathroom, we didn't get a kitchen. You get a sink, and that's it. And then you have to just put like a shelf
like a
there.
bachelor, yeah.
All right,
Yeah, that's fucking
But there's
terrible.
bunk beds in there as well. And I remember
That's
no
not a
joke,
bachelor,
like
it's a
4
suicide
hours-
den. Yeah.
It is. I was just staring at the ceiling the whole time. I remember thinking I should have just taken the happy ending, like it would have just taken the
dude.
hand job, and none of this would have happened.
Lesson learned.
save
People listening
120
out there,
bucks.
if you're ever in a situation that just take the handy.
Just take that. That's what I say to you if you're a movie guy.
no,
Just
dude,
let him
no,
give
no,
you
no.
a hand job, man.
No, because it wasn't a hand
It'll
job.
be
It'd
good.
be me initiating a kiss with the guy that was just, and that's the thing too, is like, I don't know if this guy was just like trying to live out some fantasy. It's like, but no, in this movie, you tell me you love me, and then you make the move on me. I'm like, this,
It's
just
small
like,
price to pay to have a tomahawk steak on the beaches of Mexico. I mean, you could be
That
in
was a nice
fucking.
steak.
He was whining and dining. Like he'd take care of you.
a little undercooked for me though.
Yeah.
Like a gift horse in the mouth.
Was that our buzzer? Are we getting?
It might have been. He put something up.
You just
Oh,
said
look at
stop
that.
touching the mic stand.
Oh, is that what it said?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
Okay, we still go.
I mean,
you got 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
yeah, a little bit of time left.
What do you want to get off your chest?
But that was the end of the story. So we went back to your.
Well, I saw a
depressing
sign go
bachelor?
up, and then I
Nah.
thought, well, we got to quickly skip. I think
Well,
I told
you-
most of the
yeah.
details. Yeah, I should have maybe streamlined it a bit.
I think you hit all the fucking.
I think
points.
I think all those were.
I think the moral is just like if you find yourself in that scenario, just take the hand job. Man.
Absolutely.
the moral is
Yeah, like if you find yourself one of those massage parlors,
that you didn't
If you go to a
intentionally go
beaded curtain
into.
massage parlor with a woman wearing lingerie.
yeah, I was the bad guy for not actually going along with it.
You know,
She probably broke her self-esteem. She probably got a real job and moved on with herself. You know, changed her life. This isn't for me. I knew it.
I'm not even good at this.
Yeah,
I can't even do this shit.
Dad was right. I'll never make
Can't
it.
even seduce him.
Maybe you might have saved a life. Now she's like, you know,
You might have. Might have been the other way.
yeah.
I know how it goes in those cartels. No, I'm sure she's fine.
I'm sure she's
Let's not end
fine.
on a dark spot.
Yeah.
She's definitely not a dark spot.
Yeah. She might be.
Well, I kind of ran out of steam real fast, huh?
Well, I mean, are we wrapping it up, or we
an
got
hour.
time left, or we got a minute left?
What's
or
the name
something?
He wants to know the
This
name of this place.
Oh,
All I'll tell you is I ain't getting involved because it's dodgy people. But if you go to Van Nuys and there's a big major road near where the car factories are, Keys on
that's
Van
Keys on
Nuys.
Van Nuys, yeah.
So it's near there.
Next to Keys.
And that's all I'm going to
Keys.
say because I'm genuinely actually
I
quite
used to
scared
live right
because I
over
think
there.
they probably got my number plate. They
Yeah,
must
but
have,
you have a
right?
car though now.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah.
But I had that car when I was living where I am right now.
Wait, you still live in the fucking bunk beds? Oh.
Oh, you're right. I'm fine.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't tell me
The
your
name
last
of the
name,
place
did
If
you?
was-
you
yeah.
get on Google, it'll tell you. Just type in massage parlor Van Nuys. I'll probably be able to find it for you.
Massage parlor. It's the first thing that pops up.
The happiest ending massage parlor. But that's funny. I lived right over there. I used to live in Addison, Van Nuys years ago. I
Yeah,
lived
it's
in
not
Sherman.
I wonder if that
Oaks.
place
No,
has like Yelp reviews. Like,
Probably does.
Went
Well,
there
it
for
was I remember it was like
massage,
right near the
got
top. Right near the top. If you type of
two hands
massage
up.
near me.
2 hands up.
2 hands up massage. 2 hands up spa.
Yeah.
I'll be coming there
Yeah.
often.
I come here a lot.
I should have written that in a Yelp review, the whole thing. But overall, pretty good. He was a nice guy. He only wanted $60.
It's like the same as like, do you ever like read comments on porn videos?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
brilliant.
Isn't that the
It's
fucking
hilarious.
like,
I'd rather
it's
read
like
that than
this-
watch the video.
I only go in there to
Fucking
find
video.
what the
I've
actor's
seen
name
everything
is.
at this
Do you
point.
ever get
But,
distracted by those and just start feeding it and going into the feed and you're like,
It's brilliant.
what in the fuck?
Yeah,
are
and they
these-
get angry sometimes.
Oh, they get angry. They talk about all sorts of stuff.
That's
that-
not how you fuck her.
That's not how it's done.
The craziest shit is in the comments on a porn site, and it's
Yeah.
fascinating. I'm like, who is taking their time
But the
to like?
funny thing is,
like,
people have
write,
like
a whole-
avatars and they have
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're just
say-
like making a, like. Cause I honestly, I try to delete every history. I'm like, all right, and I feel like guilty. It's the second I'm done.
No,
I'm like,
they're
second
proud
that
of it.
nuts out. I'm like, I get this. Pretend it never happened. Like,
I
would
do,
no
yeah,
record
you
this
close
is-
it straight away.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
people are
delete
like,
history.
oh,
clear
I wake up like, let me just log
They're all
into my
like,
yeah.
I'm fucking
Let me tell you what I
gross.
think about this fucking video.
Yeah,
And
they
whatever,
do.
like,
It's all
This is
set up
the
like a
worst scene
MySpace
she's
page.
been in since
Yeah.
ever since she did Gangbang '86. She's gone downhill.
That's all we
Can't
got.
believe
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
She reminds
She
me of
needs
the
to do
young,
more
yeah.
indie projects.
Yeah, like all their like little insights and fucking 2 cents of shit. I'm like, they're just guys talking to other guys about fucking some chick that they're never gonna meet or talk to. And it's just so fucking weird and hilarious at the same time. It's fucking absolutely fascinating.
I should maybe make an account. That'd be great.
Yeah.
See what I can meet on there.
Be like, yeah, man.
They could probably set it up like a MySpace page with like a soundtrack. You know, you always had that like one song on your MySpace page that kind of summed
yeah.
you up. Just pick one. Hinder was the most Lips of an Angel was the most popular one on MySpace.
Oh,
Lips
really?
up and-
Yeah, that's right. Kind of.
Sorry.
Oh, hang on, he's pointing at us.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. Oh.
Fuck, I'm
Oh.
gonna get. I'm so
hilarious.
scared.
He's like, no.
Click on one and click on the
Mark,
street.
you
yeah.
might have just
well,
killed
that's-
Charles.
It's not that one. That looked nice.
California, try California massage.
Wait, what's that one?
No.
Wait, Mark, are you trying to get into this place?
Yeah. Is it? It's got to be the one that's on.
It's near,
Van Nuys.
it's near Keys. I know
I
it's
think
not far
gotta
from
be over
Keys.
here, dude. That's where that Keys intersection is. It's probably one of those that cluster. Unless they branched off, they have a bunch more. now.
Sherman Way. Yeah, I remember driving down Sherman Way.
Just go up, Mark. Over in this area.
We're tracking them down.
No, silver massage.
God,
Silver
I hope this podcast doesn't go viral.
It probably doesn't. The one without an actual name on it.
I'm not going to promote this at all. Yeah, click on one of those. I mean, this was like 4 or 5. I'm probably about 4
It's
years
either
ago
gonna
now.
have like
Oh,
the-
hang on.
Ooh, it's coming back to you.
Click on that one.
It's
This is a cool feature, by the way.
it's gonna have either like the best reviews or
think
the worst
That
reviews.
looks like
You know
what you
what?
were saying, man.
It looks a bit like it, but these were beaded ones. And there was a few more rooms. Because I remember on my way out, when the guy was taking me to my car, I remember seeing like guilty guys walking by me with their heads down. You know,
like,
and
and
then
there's no DJ booth.
That, honestly, that actually looks... It might not be that one, but it was in a very similar thing to that. Oh, hang on.
Ooh,
No.
that looks.
It's hitting a nerve.
Is it this? Look at the string beads. Wait, look. Let's go look at it. It's the dark wind.
PTSD.
Oh,
It might be.
I like
Look
how
at
it's
that
the
wall.
cinder blocks. Yeah, the jail cell walls.
It might be. Wait, is there any more pictures of that? Because my massage
No more
table was
locked doors.
facing the beaded door. That was, but it was like a room like that, like a concrete room. Dude, that might be it.
They might have done some renovations with all that $120
For my safety, it's not it, and we're not coming after you.
Charles having a PTMD.
Honestly, that could be it. No, it's not that one. I don't
I like
think.
how they're all just in strip malls.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
literally, like you just describing where you went. I assumed it looked
Maybe it
exactly
is.
like that. Like just like
No, it
those
was. It
shitty
was
strip
something like that, really
malls that's
shady.
Like yeah,
No, that looks too legit. They're not
yeah,
gonna bother
That's a
setting
real
up a
place.
website
oh, yeah, that
like
looks
that.
like a
That looks quite nice.
professionals
actually.
over here.
way more than $60.
Well, I honestly think it could be. Is it this one? I don't want to like throw diamond under the. But they might be legit. I might be at the wrong one, but it looked like it.
Yeah, that's
So we're all going there next week. We're going to
Yeah,
take a little
right.
trip. What are you doing at the weekend?
We'll do-
I keep playing with this. It's because I turned.
The funniest thing is, though, honestly, after everything's all said and done, you had stress going into this and you needed a massage.
Oh my
and then
God.
you come back just
I
like
didn't even think of it
in
like
the
that.
biggest dire need of a massage.
Maybe that's
like
where
the
it went
fucking-
downhill.
That's like the worst part about those scenarios because like a couple years ago, I did laundry and I used to go to this fucking like laundromat off of it's now a Domino's Pizza across the street from Rock and Roll Ralph's, right? So I used to time it out where I put my shit in the wash. It's locked in the washer, right? You cannot open it. And I'd go wash my car and I'd come back and dry it off while my shit was in the dryer. And then I was trying to do some other over the top multitasking. I came back while my stuff was in the dryer. It's gone. I had like 4 dryers full of clothes. All my shit was stolen. And I was like, at the laundromat.
Jesus.
I lost all my
Doesn't
clothes.
surprise me though.
And I was like, motherfucker. So I had to go buy new clothes. And I don't wear shit off the rack, so to wash it again. So now here I am doing laundry again. And I'm like, which is like just adding fucking compound and insult. We're just like,
It's surprising though. Like
whole
we went to that
wardrobe.
laundromat for years and would do that. We would just because we knew like the guy that owned the
there's an Asian
laundromat.
guy, and the name is called Kim's Wash or Dry. And I just used to
Yeah.
call him Kim, and I thought that was his name. And it might not. It's like, just,
Hey Kim,
Hey Kim.
all
He's
the
like-
time, all the time.
He's
Had
like,
no
it's
idea what
Lee,
it-
you idiot.
Yeah, he had 2 little dogs, and
Yeah,
he
they're
would, and he
fucking
was cool
Italian
though. He would
greyhounds.
like, he was always there, kind of like mopping and make sure, like, kind of watch
Yeah.
people's stuff. And we were regular enough where he was like, oh, like you know, you can go do whatever, and I'll watch your clothes and stuff. And
Yeah, I
for
can't
years
relax
and
in
years,
those
like
places.
we're just always
Yeah.
like, just left our clothes at the laundromat, and then would come back and like take our clothes out, whatever.
Was
and
it Kim?
So,
Do you think it was Kim that took it?
No, because I went back. He's like, no. He's like,
Yeah.
'cause he's like, I thought you took it. And I was like,
he's like wearing,
so
No.
he
wearing,
saw
like,
the
your
guy.
fucking
Yeah,
exactly.
He's wearing a nice
Oh my
fleece.
God.
He saw the guy in like this, and it's funny because it's one of those days where like someone says some like shit to you. Like there was a guy who was really chatty there, and then when I came back, that was the guy that supposedly took my stuff, according to Kim. But that same laundromat though, there's a whole bunch of weird scenarios. Like one time, there was a guy that like shit himself that was in there while Eric. Remember that? Where it was a rainy ass day, and he was just like his dirty ass crack was in our like just, and it was just like a lot. It was.
I mean,
it wasn't
that
a-
whole area is like
it's,
just
yeah, and this is
lot
before
of-
the COVID and the homeless fucking outburst. But there's also a time that this guy was like, hey man, can I get a fabric softener? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, fucking go nuts. So I gave him a couple of sheets of fabric softener and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I just got out of prison, because I stabbed a guy in the face with a fork. I was like, okay, take as many fabric softeners as you want. And then I don't know some about my
With a
face, but
fork.
people always assume that I do the same thing they do. Because like, man, you've been to prison before. I'm like, no, I've not. Why would I say that? He's like, you ever drink Pruno? I'm like, what is that? He's like, prison wine. I'm like, no, man, like just get.
I like how he told you it was a fork. Sounds like he's kind
Yeah.
of proud.
Yeah.
That's the way he did
Yeah.
it.
Well, he said he's like this. Yes, like like the jail. He got the 4 prong marks in his face in the courtroom. I was just like, that would make sense because you just stabbed him in the fucking face with the fork and shit. Like,
two together.
yeah, I was like, I don't
Yeah, the
fucking-
homeless like community around like Hollywood is like I've learned to like I've actually like have like
What to say?
I don't know. Nope.
to get is it to wrap it up?
Time to wrap.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Do it nice. Do it smoothly.
All right.
What you got?
Well,
What was the homeless community around, Eric?
I don't think we'll have time, but
It's a big story.
I love the homeless community. I've learned to love them.
I'm about to tell a terrible story about them.
Can't beat them, join them. I'm trying to join them. I'm trying to live in my truck and fucking be a homeless person the rest of my life. That's the dream. They're
That's true,
urban
actually,
urban
you are.
camping is what Tony has told me. He's like, they're urban camping. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to do that. That seems like the best life.
Well,
Every
that's
day I
a
walk
nice
to
way
work,
of putting
I
it.
walk by a bunch of like the same homeless guys. I say hi to them. I'm like, what's up? And they don't have a care in the world. They're just fucking
Like,
eating fucking half. Eating
Picking
pizza
brain.
and shit from the night before that
picking
someone
brain
gave them.
reference,
They're just
nice.
fucking listening to the radio, or you got one guy that just dances on the corner. He seems so
Listening to a
happy.
radio that doesn't
They
exist.
never seem bummed out. Like I probably am more stressed about and
it's
worried
weird,
about
isn't it?
shit.
To be fair, they do seem happy.
Yeah, they don't ever have a care in the fucking world. They're talking to themselves. They don't need a podcast. They just fucking talk to themselves all day.
They don't even need a friend, Eric.
They don't need nothing. I am envious of the
Or a
homeless
home,
people around.
yeah.
I'm like, man, if I could just fucking just get to that point where I just don't give a fuck and just like, all right, I'm gonna urban camp it the rest of my life. And some of them they have like this one guy that I pass every day. He has like a freshly pressed suit, nice shoes, and he just sleeps outside. I have no idea what the fuck his story is, but I'm fascinated by him. And he's like always like everything is like nothing is disheveled, nothing's dirty. He's like clean, and he just fucking is like sleeps outside. And I see him every day, and like some days he's walking, some days he's not. Most times he's sleeping when I walk by
You
him.
mean walking? Like sometimes he's just laying there, or like he just
No, like
He
he just
can't physically walk?
he's just sleeping there. And then sometimes I walk home and he's like, I'm like walking and I'm like, oh, that's the guy that
Here,
sleeps
just-
there.
maybe
But he's
think
just
about
like
this way, though,
walking
Eric.
up and down the street
What
for
if
some
he's
reason.
just getting himself dressed so the second he dies, they can just throw him in the casket? He's like, oh, put on my last suit I ever wear.
I mean, I could be. It could
Can I
be.
wake up
Or
just-
Does he have a good hairline? I've just noticed.
No, he
homeless
always
people have
wears
really
he always
good
wears like
Oh,
a knit hat.
Isn't that interesting?
no Rogaine, probably. Propecia.
Yeah. So what
Great
the fuck's up with that?
hairlines.
Well, no stress. They're not working. No bills to
Maybe
pay.
that's-
Exactly.
There-
His
there-
fucking mortgage is making me lose my hair.
There is a
Need those
person
tips.
that I don't know what their condition is, but I absolutely love them. They're always on the corner of what is it? Crescent Heights
and Sunset.
and,
Doing the
and
Jesus thing?
Sunset. No,
Yeah.
he like dances, but he doesn't. It's not loud music. He has headphones in and he just dances, but he gives it his all, and he fucking just does it every day. And he's there
And
for
those
like
I
an
know who you're
headphones
hour.
are
talking about. I've
plugged in,
seen this
yeah.
person.
Yeah, and he's I think everybody's probably seen him, but he is my favorite person that I don't know the backstory to on the street that happens to be there all the time. And just like I'm like, yeah, just do you. Like you're like I
Is he
enjoy
holding a sign?
No, he just dances. He does like Michael Jackson dances and he
okay.
gives it his all. Like he's like sweating and shit. And he's like, ooh, yeah, and fucking just does the whole thing. And he's just like, I don't know. Like I'm like,
Like
you're doing
clockwork, yeah.
like if you're gonna do something outside or whatever, like a street performer, you're quiet. You're entertaining. Like when I'm at the stoplight and I'm like, waiting for the light to turn green, I'm like, you're fun to watch. I'm like, you're good. You're good for the community. You're not harming anybody. You're fucking like,
Bravo.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
If only we could
There's
be
nothing
that
wrong with
loose.
that. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note,
Something
we
to
are
work for.
overtime. Charlie,
It's been a pleasure.
Sea Lark.
It's Charlie C.
Yeah.
Lark.
Charlie Sealark.
Where
Charlie
can
S.
we
Sealark.
find you on the internet, my friend?
To the camera?
To the camera.
You can find me on Instagram at Charlie Spencer Clark.
And keep
And that's
on.
pretty much it. To be honest, I don't really post much anywhere
Yeah.
else. So
You can be
Give us
posting
a
those
goog.
show dates coming up
Give
for
us a
stand up.
Oh yeah, fun. There will be show dates coming up for the
pressure's on,
stand up,
pressure's
but
on,
nothing is
pressure's on.
booked yet. Big US tour.
Big
Might even give Mexico a go. Give me the contact of that guy. I'm sure he can hook me
exactly.
up. I don't care. I'll make out of him. Get me
Yeah,
a
tell you
tour going on.
something,
Get a tomahawk
No,
steak
this
out
whole
of the
this whole
deal.
fucking
Let's get some nice tomahawk steak at that arena.
you can find me at Tony Klein Comedian on Instagram and all the good stuff, and TonyKleinComedian.com, my website, which is outdated, but check it out. And Eric, where can they find you?
We need to get on this.
You can find me at Eric Rustler on Instagram and all the grams and whatnot. Also at adventuredom.com. It's my apparel brand. Please buy something. My mom and my dad and like me are the only people who have ever bought anything from it. It's been like 5 years. So
No.
please, that'd be cool if you just bought a hat sheet.
Charlie.
I forgot to wear it
bought-
today. I realized halfway through
Yeah.
the thing
He
when I
did
looked
buy
at your
a
top.
hat, and so I appreciate that.
That's why he's on the
The
podcast.
only
twice,
customer I've
right?
ever had. My first customer.
And that's
very
you're right,
true.
That's how you get on a podcast right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. This is the end of the Eric and Tony show. So
Also
thanks
follow
again
the
for
Eric and
Charles.
Tony show if you just stumbled upon this at some point in
Yeah,
time.
that's the name of this show.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
That was
Thank you.
fun.
God bless.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.